This is the Caddx FPV Protos, and it just might be the cheapest good way to learn FPV. Now you might be wondering why I say good, and the reason is because there's cheaper FPV kits, but they use analog video transmission, and that is like really horrible quality video feed you're getting to the goggles. Whereas this little drone has Caddx's Ascend digital FPV system, which gives you way better feed to the goggles and should give you an overall better flying experience. And so in this video, we're gonna find out how good or not the Protos FPV actually is. So the Protos FPV kit comes in at $359, actually currently discounted to $339 directly from Caddx FPV. And the kit includes these FPV goggles, this little ELRS remote that you can actually bind to other ELRS drones. And it comes with 3 of these little integrated batteries as well as a multi-charger for them, a USB power brick to plug them into the wall, a battery to power the goggles, and finally the Protos FPV drone itself. So let's take it up for a spin and see how it flies. Now these goggles don't have an integrated battery. They're kind of the old style where you need to plug in a separate battery. Try again. So we'll do that. Stick the battery in our pocket and strap on our goggles. Now these goggles are not particularly the most comfortable to me. Maybe I just have a really big nose, but they do kind of sit hard on my nose here, and that's uncomfortable. So I usually have to put a little bit of padding between my nose and the goggles. And we will pop one of our batteries into the back of the drone and it powers on. Now you can't record directly to this drone. There's no onboard storage, no SD card slot. You can only record in the goggles what it feeds to the drone, so any breakups in the video transmission will be recorded. But to me that is not a huge issue because this is not really a drone that you're going to be filming with. The camera on it is not supposed to be that great quality. It's mostly just to fly around and have fun with. And you can just tilt the gimbal up and down here. There's no like gimbal to adjust it from your goggles. You just tilt it up and down before you fly like most real FPV drones. So we're going to power on our goggles and turn our remote on. And we are ready to fly. There are 3 modes on this drone: position hold, where it has little sensors on the bottom that help it hold position, angle, and full acro mode. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say this, Caddx did send me this drone, but they're not sponsoring this video. They're not paying me to make it, and they're not telling me what to say. I can say whatever I want. In fact, they're not even gonna see the video before I post it. So let's get on with the video. So we're gonna start in position hold, arm the motors, and take off. And we are flying. It is a little bit windy here, but we should be able to take off our goggles and the drone will just hover in place. Let me bring it over here into the camera view. There it is, hovering right there. You do have to control the throttle, but that's the only thing that you have to control. And as you can see, it's doing a pretty decent job just hovering here in one spot, so you can start flying it like that without having to manually be controlling it all the time. And then we can flip it over into angle mode. And now it is much more responsive, and you can fly it around like you would any other drone in angle mode. I'm actually not a huge fan of angle mode on any drone, but it definitely is a way that you can start that is a little bit easier than the full acro mode, and just sort of start to get your bearings of controlling the throttle and everything else. And then for acro mode, you actually can't switch to acro mode while you're in flight, I assume, like as a safety thing. So we've got to land and then take off again in acro mode, which we are going to do. Switch into acro, arm the drone, and here we go. And it's a pretty peppy little drone. You can choose between low, medium, and high rates. I'm just going to go with medium for now. We've got definitely some wind here. Now it is relatively unresponsive to your stick inputs when the sticks are close to the center, and then really ramps up when you go further out. It has like crazy rates. Oh, as you can see, crazy rates. Didn't go very well. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I have some more videos on FPV and all things drones planned in the works to come out soon, and you probably won't want to miss those. So if you want to follow along, just go right down below this video, click on that subscribe button, click the bell next to it so you don't miss any future videos. This time we'll try slower rates, and we're going to take off. Basically, it has a lot of expo, which means that close to the center, when you push the stick, it doesn't do very much. But then as you push it out, it starts to do a lot more. And unfortunately, there's no way to go in and customize the rates on this drone. That would be very nice if you could, but as of right now, that is not available. Now, otherwise, it flies quite decently, especially considering it's windy out today. And we can, let's try to go up this tree, flip it over. Whoa, ho. There we go, we caught it. Let's see if we can go through this tree. Oh man. So the rates on this drone are definitely messing me up. I'm just not used to that much expo. I can fly a Nevada or a Neo through that all day long, no problem. But the rates on this are a bit challenging. But let's throw another battery in it and see roughly what the range on this thing is. All right, we're going to take it out here where I fly my other drones all the time. Oh man. Oh, it's so bad. We're just gonna have to probably cut that out of the video entirely. Well, I look like a really bad FPV pilot today, but let's give it another go, see if we can test out the range. All right, here we go again. This is territory that I'm fairly comfortable flying with the DJI FPV system. There we go, we're under that, okay. Looks like we are still holding strong all the way out here. Let's see if we can go any further. Oh, I'm starting to get some red and we got to turn around immediately. Oh no, totally. Oh, we got signal back. Wow, I can't believe we kept flying there. That's crazy. I was able to fly just by instinct. So yeah, the range is definitely not nearly as good as a DJI system or something like that, but it is definitely plenty for this size of drone. You're probably not going to be flying long range or anything like that with a drone this size. It's just for kind of learning the controls, being able to fly around and explore. And it's probably even meant to some degree for indoor flights, just to be able to cruise around in small spaces. Honestly, I've got to say I'm quite impressed with how well it is handling wind and all that for its size. It's got a good bit of power. Let's see what we can do with it here. I'm starting to get the feel of these sticks, not so bad. By the way, if you want to learn how to get professional cinematic videos with your drone, I have something you won't want to miss. I put together an entire 45-minute drone filmmaking training where I share my top 10 secrets to getting cinematic shots with any drone, and I'm giving it away completely for free, and link to that is down in the description. Check that out if you want better drone shots, and back to the video. All right, well, my camera stopped recording on that last flight, so we missed some stuff. But I'm starting to get a lot more comfortable with this drone. Let's try again here to shoot this gap. There we go. I'm gonna try to fly down here where I often fly with other drones. Do another bit of a range test. We are fighting a bunch of wind here. It's making it almost impossible to fly. There we go. We've got some nice sun. This camera doesn't look too bad. Obviously, it's not super high quality, but it's obviously way better than analog. Gonna fly down the road here a little bit, see where our feed cuts out. Oh, and there we go, it cut out. Let's get flying back up this way. As you can see, it will go into a tighter field of view, cut off the sides of the image to decrease the amount of data it needs to transmit, decrease the bit rate it needs so you don't totally lose a feed when you go out of signal range. Let's see what we can do here. Go right between these trees, right up through here. Whee! Yeah, I'm starting to really like this drone. Just took me a bit to get comfortable on the sticks, but now that I am more comfortable, I am quite liking it. It's very stable even in the wind here. I'm able to just very precisely, whoa, navigate around things. And we're starting to get a bit of a low battery right here around 3.5 volts. Obviously this doesn't have a super long battery life, but that's sort of a given for this tiny of a drone. And of course it's going to be even worse given that we're fighting wind here, but we're just going to bring it right back in here. And we will just pull out this battery and swap to another one real quick. These batteries actually do charge quite fast. I went in for a quick lunch, and while I was eating, 2 batteries had entirely charged and 1 had partially charged. So quite nice and fast to charge. And here we go, off to the races. Let's see if we can fit right in here between the limbs of these trees here. Nice. And let's see, whoa, we got a little flippiness there. That's just kind of something that you are going to get on this small of a drone. People always complain about that with like the Neo and stuff, and yes, it is a thing, but is just kind of in the nature of small, not very powerful drones. Ooh, we clipped a twig there. Let's see, whoop, and we crashed again. This wind is really not helping things. This drone is not designed for this much wind. I'm pushing its limits a little bit. All right, let's give this another try here. Just pop right up here through those limbs. If it wasn't windy, I could do a lot more of just being able to get right in and around those limbs at a slower speed. But the wind's kind of pushing us around and making all of this just a little bit harder. And let's see if we can weave between the trees on our way back here. There we go. Let's go check out this bush over here. Go back to our favorite walnut tree. And right back in through. Woo! This thing's quite a lot of fun. And you can also do some flips with it. Woohoo! See if we can get a barrel roll. It's a little slow in the slow yaw rates, but still quite a lot of fun. Let's see if we can dip right down through here. Yeah, now that I've gotten the hang of this, this thing actually flies really well. It's just different rates than I was used to, so it takes a bit to get used to exactly how to fly that. Now we're not going to try to go through there. Too many little limbs that are hard to see on the FPV feed. And honestly, I'm super surprised with how well this little tiny drone is handling wind. Obviously, it's making it harder to fly, but the degree to which it is able to deal with it and also to deal with crashes like that, running into stuff, is super impressive for a tiny 1.6-inch FPV drone. It is not bad at all. Whee! And it also has a pretty decent amount of punch-out power for this small of a drone. Not sure what happened there. I think I accidentally hit the arm switch or something. It's on the opposite side of my DJI remote, so maybe that's what went on. So after all of those test flights, is the Caddx Protos the cheapest good way to get into FPV? Is it actually good? I've got to say, actually, yes, it is. I initially thought this had a pretty good chance of being good, and then for a while I was like, this is not flying great because of the rates, but once I got used to those after a couple flights, I really enjoy this drone. Now, is everything perfect? No. Is it as smooth and polished as a more expensive FPV setup? No. Does it have as good range or as good of a camera as a drone with DJI FPV transmission? Again, no, but this entire kit with remote, goggles, drone, batteries, everything costs only $360, so at that price point, I really can't complain. This drone is cheap enough that if you want to try out FPV, see how it is, get your feet wet in it without putting a whole lot of money into it, you can do that very cheaply for less for the entire ready-to-fly setup than it would be for just the drone and camera for most DJI FPV transmission system drones. And you get a far nicer experience, much better feed to the goggles than you would with an analog quad. And from my seemingly quite extensive crash testing, this drone seems to be pretty sturdy. There is absolutely no damage on it, even after quite a number of pretty hard crashes, except it's a little dirty, but that's what happens with FPV drones. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this kit is that currently these goggles aren't compatible with anything besides this drone. There aren't any standalone video transmitters that you can put on another drone or other drones that you can get that are compatible with these at this point, but my guess is that will change over time. It seems like this might be a new Ascend protocol that they're launching with these goggles, and there'll probably be other drones that come that are compatible with these in the future, but just keep in mind that you are limited in being able to connect another FPV drone to it, unlike if you get some kind of DJI goggles that you can then connect to any drone that has a DJI camera and transmission system in it. If you're getting into the DJI ecosystem, their cheapest goggles are $229, and if you want to get a kit like this with the Neo and the goggles N3, you're going to be paying $579 for that, and that doesn't even include a real FPV remote. And most analog FPV mini drone starter kits like this come in right around $300, so you're not going to be saving that much by getting an analog kit, and it will have way worse transmission quality to your goggles. At this price, I feel like you could just get the kit and try out FPV, learn with it, and then if you want to go even deeper into FPV, you could just get goggles for, say, DJI transmission system, and you won't have lost out on that much money dipping your toes in FPV. So all in all, I'm gonna give the Caddx Protos a 9 out of 10 for the price point. The only thing that keeps me from giving it a 10 out of 10 is the somewhat strange rates on the sticks. It would be a 10 out of 10 if there was some way to hook it up to your computer or phone and customize those rates. Anyway, thanks to Caddx for sending me this drone. I'll put a link where you can get one down in the description. And as always, if you want to learn how to get cinematic shots with whatever kind of drone you have, I put together an entire 45-minute drone filmmaking training where I share my top 10 secrets to creating professional cinematic drone videos. Link to that is down in the description. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.